I'm very excited. We're going to bring in Illapa Sairitupac, a social worker, climate organizer, and the son of indigenous Peruvian immigrants, and he's running for Assembly District 65. If elected, he'd be the first socialist representative to represent Lower Manhattan in over 100 years. And Kristen Gonzalez is a tech worker, Queens native, DSA organizer, running for the new state Senate District 59. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for
Good
joining.
to be here.
Tell us who you're running against.
So just, a little bit of background too on districting. I'm sure you and so many others have followed this incredible cycle, but we were running in the brand new Senate seat that covered where I live now in Long Island City. And it got redistricted into a new Senate district, District 59, but that still maintained two of the core neighborhoods in what was Senate District 17. So two of the neighborhoods that were the population densest and really where we spent the most time. So Long Island City and Greenpoint. And now it has Astoria, Williamsburg, and parts of Manhattan, Sairitupac and Gibbs Bay. And in the previous Senate District 17, I was running against a candidate in Greenpoint and also Elizabeth Crowley. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because she's the cousin of Joe Crowley, the congressman that AOC unseated. And it is really a result of going up with not only a moneyed candidate, but a candidate that is backed by a machine, a candidate that has taken money from Trump supporters, from real estate in the past. So that was Senate District 17. Now we're still running against her. She, we announced for 59. She followed us back into this race. But I will say there are also, of course, a petitioning process. So there are other candidates, multiple candidates that are petitioning to get on the ballot.
So there was a bit of a controversy. Let's just get this out of the way a bit. There was some controversy because someone joined the race, Nomiki Konst, who has a show called The Nomiki Show, and she's also often co-hosts The Majority Report. People may know, I've had some public disagreements with Nomiki. This is not going to be a snarky point scoring segment or anything. I just want to clarify some of the issues that have been brought up. Nomiki Konst announced that she was joining the race. She announced on The Majority Report, the show that she often hosts on.
But Nomi, my understanding is you have an announcement to make.
I do. I would do this no other place but with our Majority Report family, who is so dedicated to not just national issues, but issues in local communities across this country. And I want to announce here that I am running for State Senate of New York.
It wasn't clear, I don't think, at least to one of the hosts, Emma, and one of the producers, Emma Vigeland, Matt Lech. They didn't realize that, Kristen, you were in the race, endorsed by DSA and AOC.
Emma's Cashews writes in, "Hey, Majority crew, I like Nomi and think she'd be a great senator, but are you worried about the chance she splits the left vote with Kristen Gonzalez and Crowley gets elected? Gonzalez already got endorsed by AOC, DSA, and the Working Families Party, so why should I support a candidate when the rest of the institutional left is backing another leftist poggers?" It's a great point. It's a great point. Look, yesterday, I did not know that Nomi was running in a district with Kristen Gonzalez and this who's backed by DSA, one of this historically large number of DSA endorsed candidates in the upcoming elections here in New York. I wish I had known that, frankly. Nomiki's a friend of the show, and she's gonna, it's her choice to run. But I really don't have an answer.
So they kind of said that they were endorsing you.
This is nothing personal to Nomi. It's that I support DSA candidates. You do have that Crowley vote split issue, and you do have the entire rest of the left lining up behind Kristen Gonzalez, who I think looks like a really good candidate, and who I'm probably going to donate to. So it's a we've heard the criticisms, and
very valid, very valid, frankly.
And I think that's like the challenge probably for Nomiki's campaign is how do you that's a huge concern.
Sam Seder, who is the host of the Majority Report, maintains his Nomiki Konst endorsement. There was a lot of pushback on this, but I wanted to just play some of what Sam said about this race and have you respond to it. And this is Sam mentioning Nomi joining the race. Okay.
She jumped into the race And Kristen had already in the 17th district gotten secured endorsements from
AOC, DSA.
And if you want me to stop at any point, Kristen, just tell me. Say pause, and I will.
Oh.
Okay.
Sure.
the AOC had
Yeah.
endorsed the slate and in the 17th, and the WFP.
Pause. AOC actually endorsed us for the 59th district, which she overlaps and represents in. So yeah, that was just flagging that.
Got it. Okay.
Two other bigger groups. Nomi jumped into the race because she had heard from community people in this and people in where she lives in Astoria. I think from her perspective and from the perspective that we're encouraging her to run, that despite the fact that Kristen had these bigger organizations that were endorsing her, that she didn't have support in the community based upon the new maps that were drawn. That her strength, she was in Long Island City, but the bulk of the population was now going to be north of there in Astoria. And of course, it also goes into Manhattan now, the 17th district, the 59th district.
Pause, I guess. Yeah. 25% of the population is in Astoria, so 75% is actually outside of that. I live in Long Island City. I've been organizing in Long Island City for years. I helped start the Western Queens Community Land Trust here to help fight gentrification. I've also been part of anti-Amazon efforts here. So not only is this somewhere that I've been doing a lot of the organizing, but also a lot of the door knocking, because LIC and Greenpoint overlapped with what 17 was. We had knocked and have already knocked over, at this point, over 10,000 doors. When the new district was drawn, over 8,000 doors had, over 1,000 positive IDs. So we really weren't starting from scratch. And what I will also add is we are, all of these organizations, even though DSA did an endorsement for 17, are still coming with us and endorsing us in 59, because what Illapa and I are and what we represent are movement candidates. We're part of a slate because it's bigger than one seat and one race. We run together because we run to fight for things like climate justice, housing justice, healthcare justice, helping pass the New York Health Act. And I guess what I will also just add to this is, because of that, I am also still, it was endorsed and am still now in 59 endorsed by 5 overlapping in our district socialist electeds who are community leaders, who are community organizers, and who are working with us to build power with community organizers in Senate District 59 in every neighborhood. So, I guess I just paused here to kind of help set the record straight there, but also yeah.
And look, there were some people, particularly online, who were upset. And the feeling was that Nomi was going to split the vote against Crowley. I wasn't aware of, what endorsements Gonzalez had. But the bottom line ultimately is this. We don't cover Senate district races on a regular basis. Nomi is a friend of the show. Obviously, she's a regular guest. She came on, and I endorsed her.
This is Sam's view, right? Like I've been clear that I support the DSA. I support the DSA slate.
Emma and Matt have already spoken on this yesterday, and I don't know what Bradley's opinion is, but everybody on the show can have their own opinion. I don't know what strength Kristen Gonzalez has in this district, and I don't really know what strength Nomi has. There's no one who's polling this district. I don't know what organization. I don't know that Kristen Gonzalez had much money raised. I don't know, frankly, that the people in Gramercy or in Manhattan care about AOC's endorsement. I don't know what kind of strength the DSA chapter in Queens in Astoria has versus the one that goes deep into Queens. I don't know these things.
I'm sure Yapa has some opinions on DSA.
I think it's I think it's a problem that you don't know so much, right? I think it's a problem that you have these opinions and you don't know. Like the fact that the Working Families Party endorsed Kristen, the fact that these amazing leaders all over her district, real leftist progressive leaders all believe in Kristen. You should know a little bit about that, right? And I think that playing like you're so uninformed isn't really fair, and it just doesn't bode well for. Because I like generally like Sam, and I know that he generally has a hand on the pulse of how things are going on the left side. And you know, Astoria is probably DSA's strongest neighborhood in the whole entire United States. You know, that's the reality. We have Tiffany Caban representing that district. We have Zohran Mamdani representing the district. So in fact, Kristen is very strong.
Thank you, Ayapa. I appreciate the solidarity, but I think to that point, you know, I'm focused on our organization, and I think the only real response I'll have is, while Astoria may be new to Senate District 59, we're not new to Astoria. We're not new to this district. This is our Democratic Socialist stronghold. It's where we've not only, you know, elected AOC and beat one of the most powerful Democrats in the country. It's also where we organize against $1 billion, $1.5 billion energy fracked gas power plant, and won when no one thought that was possible. It's where we've elected Tiffany Caban. It's where we've elected Assembly members Zohran Mamdani and also Assembly members Emily Gallagher down in Greenpoint and Williamsburg, and Senator Julie Salazar. So this district is a DSA stronghold. So this is where our membership is. This is a continuation of the movement that all of those people have started. And so, you know, we're not new to this district. I've been organizing here for years. I was born and raised in Queens, and I am, we're not starting from scratch. We've raised a lot of money. I can set the record straight there, all from small dollar donations. And we also have the full backing for 59 of the consolidated left, because it's about coalition building. And I can say that I'm the only candidate here that is coming, we're accountable to that coalition, and I am coming with as a movement candidate with the community with me. So.
And what are some of the things that you guys will do if you take power, be able to do?
Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah, where do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really exciting the idea of having these local organizers in power. We're definitely championing the New York Health Act, championing the Bill for Renewables Act, championing, for me, the Elderly Parole and Fair and Timely Parole Act, which is all about parole justice. I originally come from that world, from, you know, parole justice world. I happily, proudly organized with RAP campaign, which is released aging people in prison for years. So the fact that we can be inside these conversations for once and not be on the outside heckling these, you know, these legislators, to be in these meetings, to be in conference, to be debating these bills from the assembly floor to bed in these meetings is really, really exciting. Of course, there'll be a learning curve for me. I'm sure for Kristen too when she wins. But we'll have people we trust that we've already elected on the inside to coach us, to teach us, to show us the landscape. And I think that's what solidarity really is passing the baton on to your other comrades who are now in power and saying, okay, this is how it functions. It's a dysfunctional swamp. We know what it is, but at least with us here, we can work together, and we have a lived perspective of fighting for the working class, and that's not going to change.
I would also say that, you know, what we really win and why it's important to have a slate, again, is just building a larger, you know, counter to the machine politics that we've seen today, right, that are holding us back. So everything Ayapa said, but there's also so much more around health, around education, constituent services. I think when we talk about, I think Senate races local races are important. I'm with you on that. They have the most effect in our communities, and the budget that comes with that is also the ability to organize in our communities and use that budget for that.
I just want to add that the last time, so I'm running, so Grace Lee ran last cycle, and the last time she ran, she donated $350,000 to her own campaign. Because somehow that's allowed. You can donate that much money to yourself. It is absurd. She also, the last time she ran, she also bought the website of her opponent, her name, and she made an attack website on this person's name. So
I wish that were illegal. That's so sneaky.
Absolutely. Who knows if it'll happen to me this cycle? I don't know, but I know that my opponent is, you know, they come from the real estate world, they come from the finance world, and big real estate is supporting her, and REBNY, or Real Estate Board of New York, which, you know, all these bad actors and bad landlords, they've declared that they're going to attack in this district. So basically, they're going to send out attack mailers on me. Who knows when? So that's something I need to think about and experience for the first time. It's like, oh, it's part of the game. I get it, right? But I'm also like, that's terrible. They're just going to send these terrible attack ads on me that are going to be sent out. They have millions of dollars to pump out to every single person in this district. So that's like a new experience for me as a human. I'm just a candidate as a human. But basically, the powers that be are afraid of people like me and Kristen because they know we're the enemy of big real estate. We're the enemy of big fossil fuel industry. We're the enemy of the billionaires and millionaires who hate the working class and who don't want us to have a free CUNY. They don't want us to have the New York Health Act, which is basically universal health care for everyone in New York State. They don't want us to have that. And so me and Kristen are proud to be on the right side of history.
I think our main opponents share a lot of those things. The machine, not the real estate interest, fossil fuel interest. I will say that, former Congressman Joe Crowley is actively fundraising for my opponent. So very much the political dynasty they're trying to uphold and maintain here in Queens. They're trying to cut into our progressive stronghold here in Western Queens. I think it is also beyond me that, my main opponent lives in Glendale. That's the address listed on her petitioning signatures, but then says she has a second property that she bought in 2021 in Long Island City, which is her claim for running. It is so vastly different from the lived experience of most of the community members I know, which are, again, are working class. We're lifelong renters. I'm a lifelong renter, certainly nowhere near buying a place. So I would also, share just how out of touch our opponents are with the, everyday kind of working class family of Queens. And again, It's our communities on the line when legislation doesn't get passed.